Yeah, kind of cool. Well, anyway, this is gonna be a bit of an experiment of randomness. This is the Huddersfield Online Store Championship. My name is Vesper, and I'm very happy to stream some random games for you from this event. Apologies, the music in the background is a bit too loud. I'll work on the settings a bit here. Actually, the music is just coming from speakers, external ones. Anyway, this is an online store championship. As you may have heard, there are bad things happening in the world, and yeah, we're trying to figure out what's gonna happen with the future of this planet. No, I'm kidding, of course. We're just working on making sure that nobody's getting sick when they shouldn't be. As Mise is a bunch of well, responsible people, and as we all want to make sure that everybody enjoys the game as much as possible, regardless of the current conditions that are imposed upon many places for good reasons. There are online events happening here and there, mostly on JNet, of course. Remember that there's a Discord server. There's gonna be some notes sent out soon about that as well in different places. You can use a Discord server for communication, for setting stuff up, for organizing everybody. You can use Cobra, of course. Thank you, Jonah, for making Cobra, which is the most amazing piece of software ever to run tournaments. And this is exactly what's happening here. We have round 2. We have some games going on. I'm going to actually jump into a game between certain people you may know. And yeah, or not. I hope this actually looks good. I haven't really tested anything regarding this stream, so this is just me totally riffing on the opportunity of having some software installed and streaming for you and commentating on this game. And I should probably do something with the meeting. Be right back in a sec. There we go. That should be a bit more manageable. So yeah, here we are. We have none other than Omar, who was actually, of course, rebirthed into from, if I'm not mistaken, from Apocalypse Val. Basically, this might be an, I mean, if you have making interest, this might be an Apoc Val rebirthed into Omar for better and easier accesses to the right servers at the right times, versus an Argus. Argus, so yeah, one of the Wayland IDs that has seen significant amounts of popularity in the current meta right now. Apocalypse Val, kind of a very good and interesting and fast, or actually not fast, no, but like a very surgical deck for a 50 card Anarch. But yeah, you'll see what's gonna happen in this game. The strategies, I think, for both players here are kind of clear. The Val wants to make sure that you just get stargated to hell. So basically, any time there's a Stargate run, you can trash a useful or a necessary card for the corp and just stop them from getting anywhere. While trying to build up your economy, which is quite big, and while trying to make sure you maintain a credit advantage, making sure you are ready for any potential net damage that might come if you're playing against Jin Teki and so on and so forth. Whereas Argus, well, Argus just wants to do Argus things, make money, install things, advance them, possibly trick you into running the wrong way, and then possibly just, you know, burning you to the ground with some evil, lovely green or yellow cards. So probably packing the usual bag and tag, or tag and bag, whichever order you prefer it in. A package of hard-hitting news and a bunch of other nasty toys. That upgrade on the archives, most likely a Crisium, could be a price hike as well. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, since this is an online event and clicks happen, and as lovely as the UI for JNet is, we all know that, you know, sometimes we just click the wrong thing because we were just not focused for a second. Clicking things in Windows is a bit harder than you know, using your own hands for shuffling things and moving things around on a table. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a lot of examples of people just being nice to each other and kind and saying, yeah, of course, undo things, please, and whatnot, and so forth. So yeah, there we go. Now, this is a very good question. Is this a Crisium? Because if it's a Crisium, then it's a run, fair enough. It stops APOC, fair enough, for 1 turn. You can trash it for 5, so that's not a bad thing, especially if you have so much money like the Val here, or the Omar here, the Anarch player. Excuse me if I'm coughing, and I promise, I swear this is not the wrong kind of virus. This is just me being tired after last week's event in Barcelona, which was epic, by the way. If you haven't seen it, streamed by yours truly on a very crappy setup, or if you haven't attended it, and here greetings to everybody who attended Beacon last weekend. Was it last weekend? Yeah, it feels like it was an eternity ago, but it was actually only last weekend. So if you haven't attended that event, you should totally attend the next one. It was epic. But shameless promotion aside, let's get back to the game. There is a bit of back and forth, and that was indeed a price hack, which generally plays into the Corp game plan in a couple of ways. It tags you, it gives so it tags the runner, it gives them damage. It costs them 3 to trash, which again lowers the bar for a successful hard-hitting news, or makes it just a bit harder on the runner economy. It's a slight small ping of 3 credits, which can be substantial in the right situation, especially if you're playing economic warfare as a as a set of 2 or 3. And well, here the Val player definitely, they know what to do with the money. Sitting on a nice bunch of money, sitting on just a paperclip, which could be good to get into a barrier protected server, but we'll see. I mean, so far it's everybody's game. Both sides have scored food, which gives the Corp, of course, a 1 point agenda in this situation, and that could be crucial. The 3-pointer here for the Corp in such an early stage of the game could be crucial, because if this is the Argus without any spicy includes or any tricky things up their sleeve, then probably there's an Audacity or maybe 2 in there, and that could mean rushing out an Atlas project at the right time. There's a lot of drawing going on here. Wondering what Argus is looking for. Probably more protection from the APOC, although with 2 pieces of ice. Well, now 3. Yeah, it's an interesting game to play against an APOC deck, an Apocalypse deck, because generally you do want to protect yourself as much as you can from the Apocalypse if you have the right tools, if you have Crisium grids, if you have border controls and the like. On the other hand, if you are not able to build your board state fast enough, you might want to rush out, and this is probably what's happening here. This could be an NGO, of course, in server 3. This could be just a ruse to get the runner to run, make money, and make them lose a click. Maybe make them run into some nasty ice on the remote, and if it's a Mausolus, that's always damages, and that's always net damage and tag, so that's a good thing to do, and we're gonna see in a sec what ice it is. I would bet Mausolus, maybe a border control. Mausolus, there you go, see? I've played this deck long enough to, or this kind of deck long enough to know that this is a good play here. Because the runner, yeah, exactly, the runner cannot, they cannot contest it here. And yeah, there goes an APOC into the bin. That's actually quite nice. That's one of the 3 in the deck. There's an NG. That was, I think that was a very good turn for Argus then. A very good situation. The runner basically losing a very useful card. Also, well, losing a bit of tempo here, because that could have been an R&D run to trash probably a Crisium, or maybe another price hack. You do want to get those price hacks out of the way. This Argus may be packing preemptive, some preemptives, just to make sure that you can recur those nasty, pesky upgrades. Could be very useful, but well, we'll see. So server 3 turning slowly into a scoring server, especially with the Mausolus being quite porous. I mean, Mausolus itself doesn't really stop the runner. It is annoying, and especially with Argus's special ability of course, when you get the you get the tag or the 2 meat damage if you steal an agenda without any protection. The ice itself, yeah, could be annoying, but it doesn't really stop the runner. So now that's a very strong play on the remote here by Argus. On the other hand, you have you have Omar sitting on a paperclip and stargating now, which is, this is gonna be quite interesting to see. Excuse me, one more time. Economic, hard-hitting. Ooh, okay, so, well, losing. Would you worry about the hard-hitting here? Probably you wouldn't, exactly, because the hard-hitting to land needs money. To be actually, to do something to long-term needs you to not have money. Whereas when you're sitting on 16 credits with some econ on the table, you probably want to make sure that the corp doesn't really push you down into the depths of your empty bank account. There's an Atlas. Okay, there was a accidental price egress, happens, especially on JNet. But, well, I mean, you never know. Could have been just making sure that there's no anarchist. Was it anarchist? Jeez, hacktivist. Sorry, there's no hacktivist in play, preventing or actually costing the corp extra cards to res. Well, actually, no, on access that wouldn't really matter. Never mind. Like I said, I'm straight into the 14-day quarantine, which in itself is a bit of a silly term because quarantine is 40 days as opposed to it should be 40 days as opposed to 14. So this is it's a fortnighting, I don't know. 14-day quarantine imposed on our lovely country and our lovely city. So it's kind of forced house arrest in a way, voluntary of course because I can always go out, but it's better to just take it easy today, especially since it's a Sunday and there's this store championship happening online, and it's always fun to take a look at a couple of games. Yeah, so there we go. If you stargate into HHN, an Atlas, and a Boom, like what would you trash? Again, probably you only trash what you really need to, because you can totally eat the agenda for lunch with your runner. Even if there's a price tag, you don't worry much. Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to just access what you need to access, which is the agenda, and you still have the money, and you can still trash the Boom if you want to. It's a win-win-win for the runner at this point. However, like I said, this game is nowhere near. It's nowhere near done for the corp because Audacity is a card. We haven't seen it here. However, there were cards trashed left and right and stolen from R&D. So there's a new set of cards that the corp is drawing into, and I'm curious what's gonna happen now. Oh, that's a strong. Yeah, I mean, there we go. That's it. Like I said, Audacity is a card. I assume this is game. Yeah, pretty much. So that global food kind of sealed the deal. Early global food just rushed out. Very nice game. With the corp player admitting they were sweating in the end. Indeed. Yeah, 11 turns, 40 minutes. Pretty fast. You have to play rush against APOC decks because otherwise they're just gonna you know, roll over you and that's it. Yeah. Some commentary here. Let's leave this game. Let's jump out into the next one that we can see. Turn 3. Agasha versus Nemo. So we have actually Adam versus Wayland. If I can plug into this, can I? Is it possible? Yeah. This game has already been progressing for a while, and we see the outfit. I wonder if this is the New Zealand outfit. The Kiwi outfit that showed up on Netrunner DB quite recently. The Adam looks like your regular Adam things. You have, of course, the brain cage. You have, of course, the brain chip. So yeah, you're ready for basically a lot of brain action. But generally, oh, there you go. Well, that was the game then. I didn't even scroll down. What happened here? Oh yeah. Okay, we had the runner conceding. Yep. Okay. I didn't even manage to sink deeper into the current setup on the table, but this is, yeah, definitely an oppressive outfit with a lot of stuff on the table, making it hard for add him to run, and if you run into a snare, things happen. Okay, so let's jump into this one, table 4. What's going on here? 6 agenda points, both sides. Ooh, exciting finishes. This is a Hoshiko deck, and Hoshiko is kind of this. I don't know. Like some people told me, it's playing Hoshiko is a bit like playing Geist. Like you just kind of combo things out. It's like instead of playing with bin things, you play with plushy things and a lot of money. And generally, you're kind of a good stuff Anarch. On the other side, we have, guess what, Argus. But this is an Argus with a slot machine. That's a spicy include. I wonder what's going to happen next, because, well, I mean, we have one hostile on the table, so I'm betting Corp wins over the runner. I don't see any options here, any clear options for the runner to actually stop and install advance. We have already, well, you would say 12, but actually more like 13 points on the table, so there's still 7 points somewhere in the Corp deck, either in their hand or in R&D. So between those 17 cards in the game, there are still 7 points. No agendas in the bin. But it's the runners. Oh no, so absolutely sorry. I'm absolutely sorry. It's the Corp's turn now. So yeah, is this game slowly? Is it getting there? Can the Corp actually do anything with 2 credits and a huge kind of? Oh yeah, that's game. Sorry, that's gonna be an Atlas, or actually not even that. That's gonna be a hostile takeover, of course, with Audacity. Audacity, such a good card. Such a thematically well put together card that just shows you that Wayland can do it. So yeah, the table's slowly thinning out. I'm gonna switch in a second to the Cobra standing so you can see them. Let's take a look at the last game. Is it still happening? Oh, my screen just blanked out. I think I have to try again. Is this still happening? Is this the real life? There are 6 spectators, but I can't see anything. I just can see a black screen. Well, you know what this calls for? This calls for a refresh. And we're just gonna go in there again. Yeah, I think I just crashed things a bit. And I should change the background. No, I can't change the background. Oh yeah, okay, sometimes this thing kicks in for me, sometimes it doesn't. If I will have background issues, I may have to hop around a bit. Something is wrong with my instance of JNet right now. Oh yeah, there we go, okay. Actually with the Corp winning here. So yeah, that was the turn. I'm happy we got to see most of a game. I have to click around a bit and make sure I actually change the background into something nice. Settings. We just want a solid color, monochrome indeed, because that's the right thing. And then can I switch the little scripty thing off? I could if I disable Pamper Monkey for a second, which is what I'm gonna do. Maybe now it's going to work better. Okay, well anyway. Let's get into Cobra. Let's take a look at the standings in the Huddersfield Online Store Championship 2020. We have Motion Blur, who's been basically the finalist of last weekend's tournament in Barcelona, who did actually very well, and the tournament itself was a bit of a. It was a community event, so it wasn't really competitive, but people really did bring their best game to the table in different ways. That was loads of fun. So good luck to you, Peter. It was great having you over in Barcelona, and yeah, hopefully this is gonna go well for you. We have 20 people in the field, including Nisei's own Akira, Ian, Michael. I'm looking through the list here. I mean, a bunch of there's a bunch of people here. Who are involved with the game to a larger or a smaller extent, one way or another, with the game's existence as a community-run project right now, which is great to see. 20 people on at an SC. I'm wondering, maybe we should do this right now as well with our meta. You know, we're all confined for 14 days. Maybe I'm gonna run a GNK next week or something. Just saying. And I would be just running it and commentating. That's fun. Then I would actually have people to commentate on, and they couldn't say no. I should be connecting to Discord probably as well, just to make sure that I tell you what's going on there. But I think if you're on Discord, you're on Discord. I'm not gonna show you my Discord setup because it's secret. Okay. Anyway, so let's take a quick look. What's gonna happen? There's probably gonna be a bit of a break, which means I'm gonna take a bit of a break as well, and I'm gonna try and make Streamlabs actually grab the right window at the right time instead of just grabbing the whole screen because it wouldn't work otherwise. See you in a sec.